In the last episode of the Marseille Career Mode, we turned to North America to sign free agent Richie Ledesma. A run of good form in Champions League saw us advance past the group stage and into the round of 16. Hey, what's going on everyone? Flick here. Welcome back to another episode of our FIFA 21 Marseille Career Mode. This is episode number 6 and the conclusion to season 3. It's been a similar story so far for us in Liga. Currently 6th place, but if previous years have been any indication, we should see ourselves finish top 3 so that we can qualify for Champions League next year. And just like season 1 and season 2, we've advanced past the group stage of Champions League into the round of 16 as we face off against last year's Champions League winners, Liverpool. Moving forward, we'll try to break the round of 16 curse and advance to the later stages of Champions League. But if y'all are enjoying this Marseille save, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel so you stay up to date when future episodes go live. But some interesting questions that we need to ask ourselves in regards to the squad if we do want to start picking up results in Champions League. For the most part, this Marseille squad is on par with some of my previous career modes in terms of where the players are at in their overall rating. By season 3, you want the majority of players in your starting 11 in the mid to upper 80s, and that's the case for most of us. That name potential has certainly taken over for some players, and I think it will continue to kick in as we continue to achieve results in France as well as in Europe. As far as where we want to use the 70 million that we have remaining in our transfer budget, squad depth is going to be an important focus for me, as well as completing the brand exposure objective of signing a second player from North America. Y'all left some great transfer suggestions, and I feel that Liga MX was the top league that y'all thought I should focus on. Sebastian Cordova was ultimately the player that I decided to transfer shortlist because he's got a real face scan in FIFA 21, always a perk in my book. He's also left-footed, which we have a huge shortage of in this Marseille team. Combine that with the fact that he's got a 4-star skill move, 4-star weak foot combo, and can play a variety of positions. I think he'll be a welcome addition for us as we look to complete this transfer. Unfortunately, we had to pay a little bit more than I anticipated. 40 million for a player who only has an overall rating of 80 is a lot, but I'm hoping that he can continue to grow in his potential and his overall. The contract terms were not bad at all though. He'll be signing as a rotational player to a multi-year deal on 50 grand a week. Of course, we'll continue to track some of the top transfers around the world, and for a change, there weren't a whole lot of these expensive players coming to France for once. One deal completed in the January transfer window, Alphonso Davies leaving Bayern for FC Barcelona. Although PSG just missed out on a top 3 transfer with Ferran Torres joining the club for 104.6 million. A couple of fullbacks leaving the club for them. No money spent for Rennes, but they did have about 50 million in player departures. We'll see how that works out for them, as we were third, bringing in Cordova for 40 million. Monaco losing out on one of their top scorers in Kevin Volland, but adding Elizondo to bolster their squad. And finally, it's Lille, who lose Sven Botman after a couple of seasons, but also bring in Pearson. Fortunately, we did have a lot of loan deals go through though. Most of these players are newly promoted youth academy prospects with good potential, and I'm hoping that they can reach the upper end of their rating. We will recap all that at the end of the episode, but I do want to cover which one of those youth academy players we did promote. Levesque, we've had our eye on him for a while. 91 to 94 potential, probably the most potential we've had for youth academy signings so far. Selmy is a center attacking mid / center forward from Algeria, also good potential at 84 to 94. And De Rosa, an Italian left winger with potential of 90 to 94. 3 new scouting networks for this episode. France for 6 months, looking for any type of player. We'll be heading to Serbia for 6 months, looking for a technically gifted player. There's a bit of drama going on right now between us and Radonic, as he did submit a loan request, but having just covered the transfers, we weren't actually able to loan him out. So we'll see how much he features. But my intention was to hopefully add some more Serbian players to this Marseille squad. Finally, it's England for 6 months, and we'll be looking for a physically strong player. I was pleasantly surprised to see that a number of English prospects have played for Marseille over the years, the likes of Joey Barton and Tyrone Mears, who also played for my Seattle Sounders, whose kit I am rocking today. But covering some of the development plans, Shaleta Tsar will be switching over to sweeper, as that's going to help boost a little bit of his pace as well as the defending attributes. And Cordova will be switching over to right winger. That doesn't mean he won't sometimes feature in the center of the park for us, but I see him more as backup for Tolvan in case there's an injury or stamina is low. We also use the support winger depth plan to boost his acceleration, shooting, passing, dribbling, defending, and even the physical attributes, basically all of them. Obviously a tough matchup for us in Champions League against Liverpool, but I'm confident that the squad, having improved even more this season, we'll be able to get past the round of 16 as we look to win at least one Champions League trophy before this career mode save comes to an end. Let's not forget the ground that we need to make up in Liga 1 and the Coupe Nationale, which we of course are still in for another competition, another potential trophy to lift at the end of this season. Liverpool have some new additions to their squad since we last played them in this save, both Sabitzer and Ruben Neves featuring in the midfield, and Jota has grown enough in his rating to become their new starting center forward. But it's going to be a big player missing out for the Reds as Toni Kroos picked up a red card in the simulated fixture. Liverpool still won that match, meaning that we need a good away result. Traveling to Anfield and being 1-0 down isn't the worst thing. As long as we can net some goals, I think we can be competitive in this match. If we want to get back into this tie, we need to provide some quick tempo and set up our strikers with goal scoring chances. Milik having his initial effort blocked, but we retain possession. And Milik again with the ball. We'll set up Bazor, who has been in form as of late. He's going to provide the assist for Hernandez, and we get that crucial early goal against the computer. You guys already know that if you manage to score early on in a match, the fullbacks of the computer tend to push further up, making counterattacking a lot easier. That was my goal going into this fixture, and our strategy seems to be working. But unfortunately, the distribution out of the back has not been great for us as of late, and you can't give Liverpool these sort of chances. Mane very fortunate to hang on to possession. He's going to find Jota in the middle, who sets up the newly transferred Ruben Neves. He'll provide the equalizer, but still a lot of time left to play in this one, and we already have that crucial away goal. Santolin's down the right side has been involved very frequently in recent episodes, and Tolvan with the near post effort blocked by Alisson. Rongier now is going to cut back inside, find Bazor, who sets up another assist, this time to Tolvan. Some beautiful passing play to get that 28th minute goal. Our captain Tolvan continuing to lead by example and showing why he's one of the best wingers in France, if not the entire world. You can already start to notice some of the gaps in this Liverpool defense. A load of space for Bazor. He's going to wait for the run from Santones. Could have been a better pass in the end, and if he let him on a bit further, that might have been the third goal for us. But we're going to make the first appearance here for Cordova, featuring in the midfield, and he's going to provide an instant impact. A beautiful chip shot by Hernandez. I saw Alisson coming off of his line, and whenever you notice that, if you practice chips enough, they are one of the most effective ways to score in FIFA 21. And it's about time, because the last few FIFAs, they haven't been nearly as good. With us now in the driver's seat, things became a lot easier for us. Again, we're going to spot out the weaknesses in the Liverpool defense, and Cordova will get his goal. A nice debut for him with a goal and an assist, and a cheeky finish there on the near post, showing his versatility already here at Marseille. Solis is going to make a late appearance, setting up Cordova, and he has a couple of options to choose from, squaring it across to Tolvan. So really 2 or 3 players playing a massive role. Tolvan, I believe, had 2 goals, Bazor with 2 assists, and even Cordova with both a goal and 2 assists. So take your pick who might have been man of the match. Liverpool pull one back late, but of course that's not going to be making a difference on this result, as it is still 3-5 on aggregate. But most importantly, the curse will be broken. We're past the round of 16 and into the quarterfinals of Champions League, finally making some progress in this career mode, at least in Europe. It certainly hasn't been an easy run for us in Champions League so far. First, it was a difficult group. Then we matched up against last year's Champions League winners, and now we have to play against Barcelona in the quarterfinals. Not to mention they've just made the most expensive transfer for the January window, as they bring in Alphonso Davies at left back to help bolster their defense. Whether we'll be able to get the goals we need to bring this one back is a big question mark, as the simulated home fixture did not end up in our favor, losing 3-1. We've seen some drama already in this save, but I think a comeback in this tie would be the most impressive achievement. There's only one thing we can do though, and that is to get started. Bazor continuing his good form from the last match, setting up Hernandez here, trying to get a finesse shot off to the far post, but a good block by the Barcelona defenders. This is where some luck is going to go against us. Ansu Fati setting up De Jong. We get the block in, which led to Carr again with Diop, but on the near post, somehow De Jong sneaks it by Rulli. I'll admit his form has not been great. You know, in the last match, he had that poor distribution leading to a Liverpool goal. Here, I think he should have made the save on his near post, but what are you going to do? I went ahead and made an executive decision at this point, switching to a more attacking formation with 2 strikers. The partnership with Milik and Solis has been very good. Milik serving more of a target man role, whereas Solis has instructions to get him behind, which can help on counterattacks. We're immediately going to start seeing some of that link-up play, 1-2 passes between Milik and Solis. Again, things just were not working out for us as Milik hits the bar there. That would have been a big goal for us. But we will get another chance in the 65th minute. Whether it's going to be too late to bring this one level on aggregate again, I don't know. We need to score 2 goals in about 25 minutes. We've pulled that off before in Champions League group stage when we were facing up against some weaker opposition, but this Barcelona defense is so good, so that's going to be tough. We'll leave it to the 87th minute, and it's Ansu Fati, who again is going to be a menace to our defense. Chaleta Tsar with the foul inside the box. That, of course, will be a penalty kick, and the penalty is converted, giving Barcelona a second goal in this match, putting them ahead 3 on aggregate. There's no way we can get back into this tie. It's disappointing to be knocked out of Champions League again, but it's good that we made a little bit of progress, one stage further than the previous 2 seasons. Of course, one of the advantages of no longer playing in Champions League is that we can focus more on domestic competitions like the Coupe Nationale, which we have managed to win for both of the 2 seasons in the career mode. Looking to 3P here. The round of 32 had us match up against a Ligue 2 opponent. Pretty easy victory, 3-1. Round of 16 has us against Stade de Reims. Another 3 goals scored, as we also hang on to a clean sheet. Our fixtures getting gradually more difficult as we have Monaco in the quarterfinals, one of the better teams in France, and we just sneak by for this match, winning a penalty shootout 4-3. Looking at the 4 opponents in the semifinals, it's good news as PSG have been knocked out of the competition already, meaning that if we can get by Lyon here in the semis, I think we have a good shot of winning this competition again. To get a better idea of how Lyon are performing, they're second in France right now. Not necessarily out of the title race, but it appears that PSG will be back-to-back Ligue 1 winners. And it's quite impressive that Lyon are still one of the best sides in France, as they've lost some of their highest-rated players like Depay, Aouar still factoring in the midfield, Guimarães at the center defensive mid position, and even some Premier League transfers like Connor Cody. Lyon also have one of the best stadiums in FIFA 21, in my personal opinion. We did a career mode challenge with them last year, so it's nice to make the return. As this is a competition that we've already won, I will be making some changes moving forward to our starting 11, factoring in some different players and allowing them to showcase their ability. For example, Cordova, he netted a goal and 2 assists in that crucial Champions League match against Liverpool, even as a substitute. So maybe you can do similar things as a starter and become an unsung hero in this career mode. But Solis, another good example of that, will get the first goal of the match. Just before the halftime break, it's what you want to see. Lyon not creating too many chances as we will continue our good momentum in the 61st minute. It's Solis who is going to try to set up an assist this time, playing the ball across, but cleared away by Lyon. Rodonic, I mentioned how he was looking to go out on loan, but because he hasn't received a loan move or even a loan offer, he's going to continue being an impact substitute. And of course, minutes after being subbed on in this match, he will get his goal, intercepting that throw-in and continuing to make his mark here at Marseille. It's probably too late for Lyon to get back into this match, but they finally will get a highlight here in the 80th minute. Player called for offside, and as we push forward to the 86th, they're going to be working the ball inside the 18-yard box. Aouar nearly getting that assist, but Tomiyasu continuing to be a reliable center back option. Good block there as we keep the clean sheet. Heartbreak for Lyon, but another big chance for us in the final. To an extent, luck has played a role in this competition, but the fact that we have won it consecutively, I think, showcases our ability as well. The final of the Coupe Nationale will be played in June, but first we have a couple of fixtures remaining in Ligue 1, and it will make for an interesting race for Champions League. Both us and Monaco seem to be in the running, as Nice have now dropped down a few points. A win here at home would be big, as that would put us level on points with Monaco. Means that we still need to rely on them dropping points, but will put us in a much better position moving forward. It's fascinating to see how they line up, as they've lost both of their original starting strikers, Ben Yedder leaving a few seasons ago, and Volland in the last few transfer windows. They still have some star players in their side, though, with good potential, and are going to rely on the veteran Arnautovic to lead the way up top. Monaco will start the highlights by getting into our own half, but we do a good job to put a stop to that and even set up Milik with a goal-scoring chance. Enough pace to get by the defender, manages to get that on his preferred left foot, and the follow-up effort from Bazor going just wide. Keita playing Henrique down the left side. This one is also going to be called back for offside. This match certainly had no shortage of highlights, and that was something that was well received, especially after a Lyon fixture that was pretty one-sided. But I want to give credit to the Monaco goalkeeper. He made some quality stops throughout this one, and it was either a combination of us dragging shots wide or quality saves from the back. Rongier typically able to bury those chances, but we'll push on. Hernandez setting up Solis. Could have gone with the chip shot here, as Lecomte did go off of his line, but he puts another big save there to keep this match level. As we get into the final 15 minutes, we'll start to push forward players. 3 points is the only target. 1 is not going to be enough if we want to challenge for top 3 and again qualify for Champions League next season. Hernandez spotting out the run from Solis. I thought it was a misplaced pass, but a nice job from our Greek striker to recuperate and somehow find the back of the net with this late effort. Of course, celebrating that one with the fans. It's a big goal for us to score, and it's going to mean a lot to our season. We have one final scare here in the 94th minute. We're past the 3 minutes of added extra time, but we do manage to get that one out of play, picking up 3 points in this one, which is going to make for an interesting final 2 match days in Ligue 1. We'll fast forward to the final match day in Ligue 1. PSG, no surprise, winning the league title, but we're more concerned with that 3rd place spot. Both Monaco and us on 73 points, but Monaco have the advantage for goal differential. There are a few different scenarios that can go down, but ultimately we need to pick up more points than Monaco on this match day, or we need a huge result. Considering that we suffered a huge loss against Lille last season, I knew it had to be them that we played against, but regardless of the result, we do have the final of the Coupe Nationale to look forward to on the 3rd of June. Some bright spots for us, though, is that Lille have lost a good amount of their players. For some reason, they transfer listed the likes of Renato Sanchez and haven't really found a great replacement yet. But I'm sure tactics will be the same, so we can try to learn some lessons from last season, try to score an early goal, and keep things manageable. The big focus for us in this match is going to be limiting chances and hopefully put in some good defensive stops, like that one from Diop and Rulli, to keep things 0-0. We have a chance to open up the scoring in the 12th minute. It's Solis who's played through. Somehow Kolasinac manages to catch up, and he was a surprisingly good player in our Valencia save, also featuring as a center back, so maybe Lille are taking some notes. Again, it's a problem with the lock-on not working out perfectly, as Milik had a good chance to get a goal. Hernandez again in the 40th minute. It's a quality save on the goalkeeper's near post, and even on the ensuing corner kick, Milik's header is going to be going off the crossbar or the post, whatever, the upper 90. We're just minutes before the halftime break. A good takeaway by Hernandez, playing through Milik, and you guys already know, keeper comes off his line, we're going to chip them, and that is an incredible goal to score, maybe even a contender for goal of the season. Especially considering the circumstances going into this match, this is one of my favorite goals that we've scored. And good news again for us as we check on the scores at the halftime break. Monaco are losing to Lorient, meaning that as long as they don't see 2 goals in the second half, a draw by them is enough for us to advance as long as we get a win. It probably won't impact my tactics too much for this match, but still certainly something that I'll be thinking about in the back of my mind as we try to score a second. Great save by the Lille goalkeeper again, deflecting the shot off the post and out of play. Milik playing through Solis. He's had numerous chances to score, and I think it might have been the pressure getting to me, because usually I convert these sort of chances. Again, we're by far the dominant team. We just can't get this big second goal, which means that Lille always are going to stand a chance. The worst thing that might happen is if we were to get a draw and Monaco also getting a draw. That means that they would keep the 3rd place spot. But with just 2 minutes of added extra time, it's Radonjic who is brought on as a sub, playing an easy square ball to Milik. And who else is it going to be to get the deciding goal for us? There's still a lot of things that we need to perfect with this Marseille squad. We haven't hit some of our targets in previous seasons, but I still look forward to moments like this. We've done everything we can to put ourselves in a favorable position, and as we check in on the league standings, we have indeed finished 3rd. Monaco getting a loss on their final match day, so a draw would have been enough, but there's no way we could have known that for sure. So we'll be carrying a lot of confidence going into our final gameplay match of the episode, the Coupe Nationale final. Our opponent for this final will be Nice, who I believe we featured in the last episode, but a new opponent for us in the final. They're in a similar situation to Lille, where they've transfer listed a lot of their high potential players, but on the other hand, they have made some good signings. John Mario used to have a great rating in Career Mode. I think it's gone down a little bit since then, but they're using the exact same formation as us, so in theory, the better side will win. Unlike previous years where our opponent had a pretty easy path to the final, you have to give some credit to Nice because they've defeated some good opponents, as have we. They, in the round of 16, beat Strasbourg, who have had a decent season in Ligue 1. Probably the biggest victory is the win against PSG. But getting into the highlights, it is going to continue being Hernandez with the takeaways in our opponent's final third, setting up Ledesma, who made a surprise appearance in our starting 11. I figured why not? He hasn't really featured in our side too often, and with him being one of our new transfers for season 3 and a big free agent signing, I thought maybe he's going to be the player that gets us goals, and I think that decision was the right one as he opened up our scoring. Let me know in the comments if this is something that you also do in your own saves. For me, I love to develop those sort of storylines where, although a player hasn't featured too much for us, maybe giving them extra bit of confidence will allow them to boost their ability in game. Or maybe I'm just thinking too much about it. But again, as Ledesma played through in the 36th minute, he's got more pace than the Nice defenders. Even though he had his shot blocked, I was liking the impact he had on this match. We're into the second half, and a nice bit of skill from the Nice attacker, and sends Holmes with the crucial block to keep the clean sheet. Ledesma in the 86th minute has the run from Solis, one young player to another, and on the near post. That'll be a second goal for us. Once again, it's these cinematic celebrations that will bring a great end to this third season. And as we close out the highlights with our trophy celebration, I want to give you all some insight into my thought process for Marseille. I'll admit that I expected this squad to be achieving more, but personally, I've been enjoying this save as much, if not more, than all my previous career modes this year. Some saves just have the right sort of things happen. And as we approach the end of Marseille within the next season or two, I'm going to try developing a few more storylines. This is where your input is going to be big. So if you have any ideas on how we can end off this career mode on the right note, feel free to let me know in the comments. But for now, let's celebrate these successes in Season 3 and have some optimism for Season 4. I'm telling you, the drama continues to build season upon season here at Marseille. I still don't know how we managed to finish third, with Monaco losing out to a team in the relegation zone on the final match day. Anyways, it was Bordeaux, Lorient, and Caen that ended up in the relegation zone for Ligue 1. Nimes and Auxerre will be seeing promotion to the top division of France, with Bordeaux winning the promotion playoff final to keep their spot against Toulouse. Milik seems to be back to his typical goal-scoring ways, netting over 20 goals once again across 50 appearances. Two players with 15 goals, Bazor and Tolvan. We were stressing how important Bazor was to us in these simulated fixtures, and I think he has guaranteed his place in the starting 11 moving forward, even if his overall rating is not quite as high as some of our other midfielders. As far as the assists go, it was Hernandez who again leads the club with 9 assists across 54 appearances. Tolvan in second with 8 assists from 57, and then two players tied for third, Santons and Bazor, with 7 assists. Some exceptional numbers for top growth. Afenu is up plus 12 this season to a 78 rating. I struggled so much to get this player out on loan. He kept on denying the loan moves, but once we finally loaned him out to Spezia, it worked out really well, and he might even make his way into the substitutes next season. Maybe the starting 11 if we can loan him out a little bit longer. One of our recent youth academy promotions, Levesque, up plus 7 to a 72. Seems like his time at Saint-Etienne was certainly successful. And finally, Hernandez, no surprise to see him in the top 3, a plus 6, now to an 89 overall rating. Obviously, there are a lot of big names in Ligue 1, the likes of Neymar, Mbappe, and some other players at PSG. But I think by the time next season rolls around and we review the top growth again, Hernandez may indeed be the highest overall player in France. But we'll switch over to top scorers. Neymar, despite getting older in this save, has had an incredible season, 29 goals across 38 matches. We did have the one appearance in the top 15, Milik in 10th with 11 from 33. It seems like it was the season of fullbacks, as Digne led the way with 9 assists from 37. Of course, Santons also got a lot of assists for us, featuring in the top 15 in 10th with 6 from 35, and then also Rongier in 15th with 5 from 33. It was a better year for Maruli, as he has finally started to make some progress in his overall rating, as well as where he's ranking in France. 17 clean sheets from 38 is not bad at all. Recapping some of the past competitions we were involved in this season, we of course started the season with a dramatic final in the Trophy de Champion, as that went to penalty kicks with PSG ultimately winning it. We did manage to complete the Coupe Nationale with our 3rd consecutive trophy in that competition. For Champions League, Real Madrid won in an all-Spanish final 3-1. And I was kind of surprised to see Bayern in the Europa League final, as they won over Leicester on penalties. They must have finished 3rd in their Champions League group and found themselves here. We had to make one youth academy promotion mid-season, as the player was unhappy, and we want to make sure we develop as many of these high potential players as possible. Ferhat Mameri, a 63 overall, Center midfielder from Algeria, one of our more successful scouting networks, as we've already had some promotions from this country. But outside of that, our other top prospect was from Serbia, left winger, maybe even someone to replace Radonjic if he ever leaves the club. 62 overall. 71 to 94 potential here for Lovric. I think the main takeaway as we start to review the entire squad statistics is the fact that we have both Mandanda and Payet still at the club. I think it has to do with them having longer term contracts when you start out this save. They just don't want to retire even though they are getting practically no match time. But with them being such important players here at Marseille, I'm not complaining. And once this career mode finally does come to an end, maybe we will feature them one final time, but really nothing to complain about. We had a lot of players out on loan. They saw some good growth across the board, and the younger players in our starting 11 are doing quite well. Our manager rating is also in a much better place, predominantly in part to achieving our board objectives. Youth development, we checked this off by signing some more players to our youth academy. Brand exposure, completing both of these by gaining a streak of 6 matches with clean sheets in home league matches, and signing 2 players from North America. Financially, we surprisingly also kept player salary growth under 15%. Domestically, finishing in a Champions League spot, winning the Coupe Nationale, and hopefully winning the league title next season. We did fall just short of our continental success objective as we only reached the quarterfinals of Champions League. I wasn't sure if I wanted to show this in the episode, but I've decided to do it just to get you all involved a little bit more. Inter have reached out to us about a manager position. Obviously, I want to win Champions League with Marseille before I move on from the club, but I think this could be an interesting storyline if we decide to take them up on their offer eventually. Maybe at the end of season 4, we'll make the move to Italy, as I have been contemplating a Serie A career mode before FIFA 21 comes to an end. To go along with that, Inter are struggling in this save 5th place, so they're in Europa League despite finally winning the Scudetto IRL for the first time in 11 years. So I'll keep you all up to date what we decide to do, whether we choose to continue this save and just move to a new club in Inter, or just start an entirely new career mode. Let me know down in the comments what you would personally like to see as far as what the next save would be. But as always, I want to take some time to thank channel members for supporting what we do here on YouTube. If you want to learn more about the membership program, you can click the join button right underneath the video. There's also a link in the description. You get access to emotes you can use in the comment section of these videos, as well as chat for live streams. But as we look at the squad going into season 4, I think it's time for us to use whatever transfer budget is available as we look to win Champions League next season. That might mean us bringing back a former player in Camera. It also could mean searching for other talents around the world. If you have any feedback, make sure to leave it in the comment section before you go. But if you did enjoy today's episode of the Marseille Career Mode, make sure you leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new. But until next time, this has been Flick. I'll be talking to y'all again soon.